Distinguished members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to this press conference to launch the second edition of the Llyods Delhi Golf Club League powered by Redstein Tires. And we thank you all for joining us today in spite of the inclement weather. And we apologize for the slight delay because just hoping for everyone to arrive. There's still some more people on the way. And but we're going to start now. And before we begin the proceedings, what we hope to do is show you a very quick video, 3 minutes, of what happened last year to give you a flavor of the league. So Varun, can we have the video please? And true. None of those scenes were stage managed. That was the actual excitement that happened last year. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to now request the captain of the club, somebody who's very instrumental in putting the league together, to kindly address this wonderful gathering. Sir.
A very good afternoon to all of you. To just take you back in time, sometime last year when 2 of our members came to us and said that why don't we have a league at the Delhi Golf Club, similar sort of an event we can get it in Calcutta, in Bangalore, as well as in Bombay. So we said, okay, great idea, come up with some ideas and how do we run this. So they came to us with a piece of paper, a couple of points jotted down, and said, this is what a league is all about. And then we had a number of meetings with them. And that's when we realized that it's not so simple to run a league, and that it needs a lot of other players who are going to get involved to run it. You need an app, you need a software. How do you select the teams, who are going to play, what are the rules? So that's what we suggested to them, that it can't be done by just 2 of you. You need to get golf management company or a sports company who runs something similar, who has the idea of doing something like this, on board. And that's how we got Llyods on board. And then things moved very fast, and we were not really sure how it would be accepted by our members, whether it would go the way it was meant to go. And lo and behold, all I can say is that it went off exceedingly well. It was well accepted by all our members. There was a lot of participation from everyone. And the excitement in the end was so palpable that it was infectious actually. So everyone was involved, everyone was supporting their teams. So what is important is that though this game in many ways is an individual sport, but it taught our members two very important things, I think. First and foremost is camaraderie, wherein most of us generally play with the same lot of people, same people actually from the very beginning till you possibly stop playing the game. But in this way, they started playing with a number of other people, getting to know other people, and also building up the team spirit, which is very, very important, which otherwise wasn't really there. So there have been a number of advantages of that we've seen, and it's built a lot of team spirit. It's got people interested, and it went off exceedingly well. And the photographs and the visuals that we saw a little while ago is a testimony to the kind of interest this event generated last year. We had 18 teams last year, and we've got 20 teams this year. And there's even more excitement. A lot more people are looking forward to participating in this event. And I'm sure that as the years go by, it is going to generate a lot more interest. So all in all, I think what is important is the game is the winner, and that is what we wanted, and to try and make the sport more popular. And I think that is something that we've achieved on the whole. So I wish this year's event all the success, and I'm confident that it will reach greater heights in the years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks very much. Ladies and gentlemen, events of this stature, none of us had actually ever experienced, would take so much effort, and wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for some fantastic decision making, out of the box thinking, and a lot of support from the gentleman who is actually driving the show from the club side. It gives me great pleasure to request General Sandhu, who has been the backbone to the event, to kindly say a few words. Sir.
At the outset, let me thank you all for being here despite this inclement weather, and let me thank you for what wonderful impetus you gave to the league last year. I never thought that we get so much of support from the media, and numbers I'm not going to say, it's all been stated, the spirit has been stated by the captain, but the fact is this Delhi Golf Club League is one of the most happening events in the history of Delhi Golf Club. Why? It's not only excellence, it is the excellence with mass participation, and like you said, the camaraderie. A lot of people would have probably started playing at the age of 20, playing amongst 4 to 6 or 8 golfers who are from their group. Here, you play with your teammates during the preparatory period amongst those 20, and then those 20 play against another 200-300. So you end up making new friends, and the spirit of competition was seen. In fact, the DGC Open did not have that excitement. Obviously, the individuals playing from far away. Here, everyone meant something to the other 20-30 guys. So I have never seen an individual sport and many team sports creating such team spirit, such camaraderie, and such competition. It far exceeded our expectations last year, and we've become very greedy with our expectations now. So far, so good. We have 20 to 400 people in, and another rating, and I think 80 rating telling me and the captain, can I come in, right? And last year, instead of 20 players, we are forced to have only 18 players per team. So that's the acid test of popularity. And we hardly have any dropouts. Last year there were dropouts. So you all have helped us put that stamp of success on this league. And I am absolutely clear in this information era, media plays a much greater role than the players even at times. So we look forward to your support and reassure you we'll give you a product better than what has ever happened before. Thank you.
Thanks so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, while the event was successful, huge credit goes to a very interesting program that was set together during the initial planning stage itself. All the 20 teams have taken on, if I may use the word, services and knowledge of mentors. And we have mentors like Gaurav Ghai and Nomita Lal Qureshi who are supporting different teams in different ways. Now I know for a player who's a sportsman himself, the mouth-watering opportunity of getting to spend 5 weeks with either of them, what knowledge that can give to a player, whether he's a high handicapper or a low handicapper, and how much knowledge it can percolate down the system was remarkable. I'm going to request first Mr. Gaurav Ghai, we all know him, who can ever forget that chip-in victory in 1995 when you won the Llyods Masters, which became the CNN shot of the year across the world. And if I may just add, people said that there's similar excitement last year in the league. But Gaurav, you want to maybe say a few words, and then we request Moni to say a few words.
Thanks, Iggy, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. Your support is absolutely essential for not just the league, but for golf in general. And like Iggy is saying, one of the real special things about the DGC League is the role that we mentors play. I know last year, the first time that I was involved in something like this was actually very nerve-wracking for me because, as a player, you have something not going your way, you have ways to calm yourself down on the course, you talk to yourself, but here you've got 20 guys, and if things are not going your way, it's actually very, very frustrating sometimes, but at the same time you realize that, hey, these guys are not pros, they're out here to have a good time. And we did have a lovely time last year in the league. My teammates were a fantastic bunch of people, and although we didn't get to the knockout stage, it was very, very special. And one more thing that I want to point out, which most of the stuff the captain and General Sandhu have already said about the league, but we are in a process of learning, and last year, whatever happened this year, thanks to the organizing committee, they made some very, very good and strong decisions, which were sometimes not taken too kindly by some of the teams, but I think that's very important. We need to keep this tournament competitive and we need to keep it transparent, which I was so happy we've done this year. And going forward, we're just going to try and keep going, from strength to strength. And, I think the members are going to have a great time going forward. And this year is going to be very special too.
Thank you very much, and thanks for acknowledging that. Thanks to the two board gentlemen here, that those calls could be taken for the long-term interest of the league. So, really appreciate you mentioning that. Ladies and gentlemen, while Gaurav was mentioning one team, Noni is mentioning another team. We call her Noni, 6-time ladies national champion. She has nurtured some of the finest talent in the country. Currently, her protege is one of India's finest juniors. He's 4-time world champion, studying in Florida on the team's list. But Noni, your team members are getting the same value, and any other thoughts you'd like to have? Because I want the media to also speak to you a little later as well.
Yeah, so I've actually gone through a stars in my golfing career, one as a player and now as a coach, and both of them have been really at this club. So I've been around golf for more than 40 years, and it was really fabulous for me last year to witness what happens during the league, because I think for the first time ever, I can say there was a buzz around golf at the golf club. We've had a buzz around many things at the golf club that often hasn't been about golf at all. And last year, the league actually did something quite special. So I think that in itself is a huge testimonial to General Sandhu, Digraj and General Dere as well for the fantastic job they actually did in pulling this off. The only other thing I'd also like to mention is that, golf is a very unique sport in some ways, because it's probably the only sport in which you can find people across all age groups, abilities, and both sexes playing together competitively. I know of no other sport possibly where that can happen in a proper way. And you'll see that because in all the teams that we have participating, it's been mandatory for us to have a player over 70 years of age. I have 2 players on my team that are over 70 years of age. It's mandatory to have 1 lady golfer. I have 4. It's mandatory to have a junior. We have 1. We were restricted really to the number of juniors we could have, but we all have 1. And so there's a real mix of people that come to this event. And I think they all bring their individual strengths to the team. And I think really the role of the mentor is to be able to pull those strengths out of each player, because they all contribute towards making your team successful eventually. And it's not just about winning. I mean, the winning is the icing on the cake, but it's the experience that I think all the players go through over the 4 weeks and 5 weeks of actually playing this game with each other and against other players that make it an absolutely unique event. So I'm sure this year it's going to be even better than it was last year. And as Gaurav said, thank you so much to all of you for being here, and we look forward to your patronage and support over the next few weeks, so that we can really highlight what's going on. I think it would be fantastic for us.
Okay, thank you very much for summing it up so beautifully. And you can see the clarity helps the students as well. So thank you very much. Besides the quality of golf that's come through and improving, the interesting thing about the league has also been the structuring of the marketing and things around it. Because sponsors have come in at the right ticket size. It was post-pandemic. They've been able to come in and support at the right numbers. And that actually helps the entire event become better and bigger. I would just request your ears for just a couple of minutes to just take some names, because it's very important that we acknowledge them. Our title sponsors, the brand Llyods, which is owned by the group Hansel India Limited. It's powered by Redstein Tires. We've got some wonderful prizes from Ravison. The official car is Shiva Motorcorp Land Rover. Official scorekeeper, our Grand Thornton GT Bharat. The official apparel is Athletic Drive. Official skin care is Cole. Associate sponsors are Stonex, Laguna Phuket, the first international sponsor we managed to get through this league. And we have party partners from 360, Surya, Oakley. The Golf Plus magazine is the Golf magazine. And what is wonderful is that we had something to step up to say. We want to make sure we feed the caddies, which is the Delhi Langar Seva Society. What a lovely touch to say that we want to make sure that they are well fed through the entire event. The government never gets taking care of them, but now they've come closer, so they'll be taking care of the meals for all the caddies. We have 20 teams. I won't go through the names because you may not be able to remember them, but we've given you a couple of enclosures where the names of the team members are there. And the defending champions are Team BMW, Deutsche Motoren, owned by Gaurav Kapoor and Yadur Kapoor. And last year's runners-up, team called K Devils, named after a couple party actually, is this year called Christie's Golf. And we've got 2 additional teams, so a total of 20 teams. And like Sir said, last year 308 people paid off. This year we had 493 entries. And we believe that full fleet of 400 will be off. So With that, my request would be that we've got some information which is enclosed with the press release review, and if there are any questions, we'd love to have your questions now, because in your questions, somebody else's questions will also get answered. So please go ahead. The floor is open for questions.
Does the format allow for substitutions, or the players not allow that anybody else was in the
Substitutions, if I may answer that, are allowed only in case of genuine cases, which could be COVID or medical emergency, etc. And in that case, the substitution will be only from the pool, which has already been entered. So players will not be selected as yet.
No, just like to amplify, when we say there are 20 players per team, it implies that in the end, on each of the tournament days, only 14 will play, that is 7 pairs. So, but the restricting factor is that each team member has to play at least one game. So that's an important factor. So everyone gets the chance to play, but on the playing day, there are 14 of them who play.
Thanks, Rahul. Yes, you.
I just want to ask, Paul mentioned that some things have changed, some changes have been brought in this season. Could you tell us what the changes are that have been made?
I want to request General Sabu to answer that.
Not many. This is one of the few tournaments which is being played based on handicap. Normally, competitive tournaments are played as open tournaments. So, of scratch. So, in order to, because of the exuberance, we felt some handicaps have gone up by not acceptable kind of scale, which may put some others to disadvantage. So we have restricted increase of handicap by 1 for the single handicappers from 10 to 18 by 2 and 18 above by 3 in 1 year. So this rule will continue to be able to optimize and rationalize handicaps. So that is one. What is the other thing? I think this is a major change. Others are like what Gaurav said, I really like it. It's a work in progress. Our sole aim is firstly we involve all team owners in the decision making, and then the tournament committee takes a decision. So we last time another thing is if a player last time some players were not they didn't make themselves available. They put the team owners at a stress because of the personal commitment somewhere else. So this time we said anybody who doesn't make him or her available for the team, 1,000 rupees fine, and the person will not be allowed to play next year also. So some things like this, these are all work in progress and mid-course corrections. And the best thing that I find about all this is the cooperation. Like what Gaurav said, it might not suit some teams, but people have been very, very welcoming to the changes. And some of them say, no, I know after we've been put at a disadvantage, but I can give you something. So that's the beauty of this place, very well.
Thank you, sir.
Just a follow-up with Delta. So is the handicap alteration, do it is dynamic, or does it happen once and then you fix it?
We have a software.
Actually, what we do is that when you play golf, you're supposed to put in your card each time you play, and it's fed into a system, with a computerized system which generates a handicap. So what we've done is that just to ensure that there are not too many variations in the handicap year on year, we've said, okay, we accept what cards we put in, but to ensure that there is fair play, we will not accept the change of more than a certain amount. That's all. So to make it more competitive, your idea is that.
It is dynamic. The software gives you at any time of the year or month, it gives you based on your performance till then, it is dynamic.
There is one more very interesting element within the tournament format itself, which I must confess we borrowed from Calcutta. That is, if a player wins 2 matches in a row, his handicap is automatically reduced by 10%. And like Gaurav mentioned, initially there were a lot of resistance to that as well. But subsequently people realized that it was a very, very sensible thing to do, because We had 100 corrections made last year, and out of those 100 corrections, the players won, 70% of the players won the next match, in spite of the corrections. So it just showed how dynamic it was, how fair it was, and some of the calls taken this year have been, brutal, if I may use the word, because as you can imagine, not easy to, restrict handicap, but they've been taken boldly, thanks to support from, veterans like Gaurav and Noni, because they actually give shoulder a lot of responsibility in supporting the right decision. And we're very grateful that they supported that. And thanks to that, a lot of good things are happening to set the right things in perspective.
Sir, selection between the teams is when it's more hardship.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your question. To select this, between the selection of the players.
Yeah.
Okay. So in each team, there are 20 teams. The team owners have the opportunity of selecting 10 players of their choice. The balance 10 come through a draw evening where all the members give their names and they're interested to play. So with all the entries were received by the club, they went into a pool and all the data was shared with all the team owners. And there was one evening in which there was a random selection of players from the pool to fill up the remaining 10 names. So there was a full scientifically drawn out process, and in the draw evening, 10 players were selected. So in a sense, 10 players chosen by the team captain and owners, and 10 through the draw process.
There is a process, 400 golfers.
See, what happens is, you have a pool which had about 500-600 people have given the names, okay? So each team captain had a choice, so each team had a choice of selecting 10 at random. That was an open thing, you could pick up any 10. So the balanced players were put into a pool, and you had a computer model, so where everyone, all the team owners were present along with their mentors or their guides or whoever was managing the team. And then on a system of a draw of lots, the names would come up on the screen. So you selected the player you wanted, and then you would automatically be removed from the pool. The balance would get left. This is a very dynamic process where these people were selected, and that is where the strategy of each team came in. Some teams felt they wanted only low handicappers. Some felt they wanted high handicappers. Some wanted a even mix. So they all worked out what would be their winning strategy to select their team. And based on that, they shortlisted, okay, if I get a chance, these are the guys I want on my team. So they would keep that as a secret, hoping no one else will take those guys, because you never know if he goes before that, you won't get him. So that's how it is planned out. Thank you, sir.
And the logic is, we said camaraderie and competitiveness. If you allow all 20 to be picked up by the team owners, and every year those people play against each other, you might have excess competitiveness and no camaraderie. So 10 we give you as the backbone of your team, you pick up from your choice, and other 10 will be random. It brings in more mix and match amongst the members.
Peter, can you throw some more lights in the formation of the team, which are the mandatory points, as Noni Kalal has mentioned, that 70 plus, junior, ladies, how many?
So one of the, like Sir just mentioned, three criteria was besides talent development, was also making sure that there was members were getting to play. There was a full reflection of membership here. So the criteria that was put into place was mandatory. In the top 10, the first 10 selections, one lady had to be selected by the team owners, one player above 70 years for sure, and there was an upper limit of one junior golfer. This year the limit was 2. Then you cannot take more than 2 junior golfers, so that the entire spectrum of members.
One is mandatory.
No, and it was an upper limit of 2.
Max.
We knew that everybody will take juniors because it's a good thing to do, and the club was trying to promote them as well. And the cancer veteran juniors were also allowed to play, whether they're members of the club or not. But that's been part of the excellence program that runs here to promote junior golf. So they are also playing the tournament.
What is the age limit for the junior?
So this year, I think juniors is 18, but we want to category this audit players under 20 years. So we just said under 20 years, a maximum of 2 this year. But that was just not a mandatory condition. It was a limit. But there was a mandatory condition for the lady golfer and a mandatory condition for the player above 70 years.
And I'd like to note that you will be giving one trophy to the winner. What the other 19 players will take home.
So it's a team competition. The winning team, all the team members and the mentor and the owner, they all get the prizes. So large part of the support that comes from sponsors is also very attractive prizes, but making sure that everybody in the team is getting it.
I think so because once the Tiger Sports has hosted a tournament for the sports journalists in Pune. So we all had 3-member team. So before entering the green, the $1 million question was if he wins, who will take the trophy? But they have given the trophy to all 3 players of the winning
Right.
team.
So here all 20 will get it. So the winning
You
team,
get a plaque, you get a memento which signifies that you were part of the business you were fighting for. They get, each one of them get another person to carry stuff. Besides that memory plaque, otherwise also we get good stuff. Courtesy our partners.
I must mention that our partner, Vishal Chawla, who owns the brand Ravisong, they give us some wonderful prizes. So they make sure that the winning team, the runner-up team, and also the third position are going to get a beautiful prize from them.
We added a third position this year.
I also wanted to add that Mr. Ravindra Doshi, our title sponsor, unfortunately because of an emergency business trip couldn't make it today. He's asked me to convey his best wishes to the media. Thank you all for being here, for supporting the event and the league. And their coming on board has also helped us really add a lot of value to what we are able to do with the league and for the membership base. So that's on behalf of Mr. Ravindra Doshi.
Another thing is, we try and make this whole thing a festival.
So, and involve everyone. So, for, otherwise the caddy fee is some 500 rupees. For the event, the caddy fee is raised to 750. And two is of course, the guys spoke about food, and we make sure the t-shirt given to the players is almost matched, or the one to the caddies is matching with the one to the players. So this becomes an opportunity of involving everyone, and we do for the caddies whatever we can.
Any more questions?
How does this work? I mean, do team owners bid to promote a team, or are they invited by the club? How does it work? Is there a price on this? How does it work? Give us a little brief.
So the team owners have come through a very open process. It was intimated to all the members and to other potential sponsors that listen, we're starting the league. Would you be interested in acquiring a team? And it was during COVID time. The club was very generous with accommodation in many ways. And all those people who showed interest were told that there are certain mandatory criteria. It's a members tournament. Out of the 400 people playing, there are only 9 non-members. Now, how those 9 non-members come in? That there are 9 teams which are owned by non-members. Only those teams have been allowed one non-member participation, whereas all the other participants are members of the club. But initially, all those people who showed interest in acquiring a team were able to buy into the vision. There was nothing to suggest it will become so big. We were very grateful that they came forward at the right time. Our target was 12 teams last year. We were able to reach 18 last year. And this year, our target was 20. We already had 20. And the upper cap for teams is going to be 24. But whether we go to 24 next year or in the years to come, it's a function of decision with the government committee which we will take after every event. So in a nutshell, people who are interested in acquiring teams, they approached us. Information was sent to all the members, are you interested in acquiring a team? And through that, the word spread around, and then people who came forward, once they met the criteria, they signed on board.
So, the team owners basically wait year on year, every year you have to buy a slot in the league. Is that bottom line?
No, so the team owners who have committed teams last year, they will always have the first right of refusal for the years to come, as long as the league runs. they have to obviously agree to be part of it next year. So last year, there was one team which dropped out because they were just was traveling, he was abroad most of the time. They want to come back now, unfortunately, there's no space. But the fact is, that's how it happened, really.
So this ownership deal with the BJP for 1 year.
No, so the teams have to keep on confirming their participation every year. But those teams which are already existing, for example, will have the first right of refusal. So they will, if they want to stay on for as many years as possible, the club will respect that it's been signed in the contract, they have the first right of refusal. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the weather outside looks like that there seems to be no let-up. What we're going to do now is lunch is going to be served, the bar is open. We have a putting clinic planned. We are very grateful to Gaurav Ghai for agreeing to conduct the clinic and have a putting competition immediately after that. I'm just going to speak to the course superintendent to check if he's the course is stable at the moment. If we don't have the putting competition, we'll have lucky draw within this room itself. So we are going to request, yeah, right. Gaurav,
My father's walking like
across you. You've got two of the finest coaches sitting right here. So please use the time. Ladies and gentlemen,
Once again, a very big thank you to all of you for being here in these weather conditions. And as Chandru said, we look forward to your support in ensuring that this edition also goes off well. Thank you.
Thank you so
thank
much.
you all. Your lunch is served.